What is WWE? Oftentimes, I joke a lot about us being in an abusive relationship, or at least I say that I am in an abusive relationship with the WWE. And I think that I need to put it into words what I mean when I say this, because a lot of times I say it tongue in cheek. A lot of times I may even go on other people's videos and I may be like, hey, we're in an abusive relationship. John Cena's promo speaks and should speak to pretty much all of our thoughts on the relationship that he's saying that he has been in with the audience should be how we see our relationship with WWE. Let me get my thoughts out, and I'm not going to crash out. I'm going to keep my voice down so that you can hear me clearly. I'm not going to yell, I promise. Maybe. I'm kind of shaking my legs right now because I've said this before. I've been a wrestling fan almost my entire life. I started at the age of 3 when I used to watch it with my grandfather. And it stuck with me because I remember the memories that I had of watching it with my grandfather. I made this video before on this channel. I've started watching with my grandfather, and then the family, we'd all get together and watch it. And we watched the pay-per-views, we watched the weekly, and to this day, my grandmother, she still might check in. My grandfather has long since passed when I turned 11. He passed a week after. But wrestling has always stuck with me. My favorite wrestler, my favorite first wrestler was Junkyard Dog, JYD. And that was because of my grandfather, because he grew up in Georgia and he got to watch wrestling of the South. And when he moved up north, he had his favorites. JYD was one of them. And, we used to do the headbutt, how JYD, he'd get on all fours. And when the guy's down and they're getting their stuff up and they're on all fours, and JYD would run his head into him like a dog, right? So my grandfather would do that in a sense of endearment. And when I had kids, a son and daughter, I would do the same thing to them. That was our turn of endearment. That was our I love you. So that was my introduction to wrestling, right? So it was kind of hard to let it go because I pretty much grew up watching it. And I grew up watching it through different eras. I went through that Hogan golden era, right? I went through the gimmicky era that came right after that. It was kind of hard to get through that, but luckily WCW came along, and this is in the very early 90s. Let me just open that so that it doesn't make any more noise. We're gonna do a very, very little editing here because I need you. If I pause you, I gotta hear it. I need y'all to feel. Damn it! I said no more noise. It's my. No. Open. Stop. Give me. Oh, right here. I like shit that smells good. God damn it! I said. Take the batteries out of this damn thing. That reminds me of when I had this Phantom car when I was younger. And it used to just move on its own, right? So I would run in my grandmother's room and I'd be like, hey, the car's a ghost car, because it would move on its own. She's like, hey, no, man, ain't nothing wrong with that. That car probably, it's probably like just battery operated. Take the batteries out. I take the batteries out and the car kept moving on its own. I'm like, well, what the? Scared, terrified of this thing. To this day, she still laughs at me and calls it the ghost car. So back onto wrestling, grew up in it, went through the eras, right? We had the golden era. We had that era where it was pretty much just gimmicks, your Bastion Boogers, your Repo Mans and stuff like that. We had to live through that. WCW came in at the right time in the early 90s to give us a little bit of a balance. On one side, you got some bullshit. On the other side, you got what WCW was doing. And they try to gimmick it up a little bit too. They saw it wasn't working. They reverse pivoted. NWO came along. Things got hot over there. WWE was still dragging their feet. And eventually they understood we need to be cool. We're losing ratings. We're losing the ratings war. We're losing ticket sales. Revenue is down. We got to do something to get this thing to jump. WCW's going crazy. ECW's on the come up. Everybody's talking about ECW. All of the underground wrestling fans, all of the hardcore wrestling fans are talking about ECW because of like the craziness that's going on over there. Pretty much going viral before viral was a thing. Late 90s, very early 2000s, but late 90s more so. So WWE pivoted and they brought in the Attitude Era. Cool time to grow up in wrestling. By this time, I'm about 12, 13 years old. And imagine how your mind is working when you're at that age. Very impressionable and just carefree, not a wonder in the world, not a care in the world. You crotch chopping teachers. Like, you don't care, right? The reason I'm bringing this up is because WWE adapted. Because at the time in the 80s, they started up their business and then Vince started to take over the territories. But that didn't put him at the top because you still had the NWA to compete with, which then later turned WCW. So they were always on equal footing with somebody, which means they had to keep competing. Whatever way the tide was turning, they had to shift. Once they lost Hogan, they had to shift. You got Brett and Shawn and they're not filling up seats like that. You have to shift, right? Because competition is out there. So what did WWE or what did WWF do? They brought out the competition. They buried the territories. Now they can do what it is that they want to do. And the fans that they have nobody else to turn to but them. Reason I'm bringing this up is because we're seeing it again. Not only are we seeing it again, but this time it's infinitely worse. It's worse. AEW is there, but AEW can't seem to keep up. They can't seem to draw the rating. From what I hear, all intents and purposes, their TV is getting better, but they can't get buzz. And it's quite simple. Their marketing is horrible. If they had a good marketing team, then, you know what I mean? Better storytelling, but just more so on the marketing team. Because people still don't know what AEW is. When they think wrestling, they think WWE. They don't think we have options. So, here is why it's worse. The indies are dead. At the very least, we still had ROH before AEW came. I would say that AEW did a good job at expediting getting WWE where they wanted to be. And I'm going to tell you where it is that they want to be. They did a good job at expediting getting them where they wanted to be sooner than they wanted to be there. Because AEW essentially came in and helped kill off the indies. They helped. And not only that, but they helped raid New Japan. The other alternative that we had. Now it's a wasteland that can't seem to get the hype, at least over here in the Western world. I don't know what's going over there in the East, but over here in the Western world, no buzz, no pop. There's no pop. So what is WWE doing? They're going country to country. And essentially what we had before, they're doing it today and buying up the territories. Same way that they had the territories back then. Come on in. Now you got WWE ID, you got NXT, you got Evolve, all of these places that they can pick from, but it doesn't end there. Now we got to go AAA. Now we got to have our partnership with, I believe it's Noah, and we're going to eventually wipe them out too. We're going country to country. We're going continent to continent, and we're wiping them out. Scribble a name out, put Jigga on top. Put WWE on top. put WWE on top, and we're going to lay waste to everything that you think wrestling is. Just like John Cena said. Again, listen to John Cena's promo and just think about it in a different way. Don't think about it as John Cena talking to you, the audience. Think about it as your inner thoughts and what you see WWE doing. Because it's just like John Cena said. We're going to ruin wrestling for you. Now, whose fault is that, or whose problem is that? We have Triple H at the head of everything at the moment. Does Triple H want wrestling to go into dire straits? I don't believe that. I just think that he's trying to acquire as many assets as possible. Be it revenue, be it territory, be it talent, buy up as much resources as possible. This way, they have such a bulk to work with when it comes to selling WWE. And that right there, check my time. And that right there is a huge problem. Because while we're watching all of these money grabs and all of these territory grabs and all of these talent grabs, while we're watching this happen in front of our faces, they're just thinking about how much money they're going to make on the back end. They don't care that the product is suffering. The product is suffering. See, I would think that if you really want to make the most bang for your buck, at least get a hot product. No. There's too many people that are buying into whatever this juice is that WWE is selling and raising these crazy ticket prices and shoving them right down your throat, marking these things up 50, 60, 70, 300% on the markup on the ticket prices, and people are buying it. You're not helping this product get any better. Oh, wait, I said I was going to keep my... Hey, Maza, chill out. You're not helping this product get any better. You're aiding in the demise of the wrestling that we grew up loving. You're aiding in the demise of the type of content that we could possibly bring our offspring to and say, hey, you can like this as well. And those generations come up liking the same thing that we liked. And, you know, it's just a little additive to what it is that we can talk to our youngers about. You know, it's just a little bonus besides whatever else we can talk to them. It's like, hey, there's this other thing that we rock with. You're not going to have it because they're not going to feel about it the way that you felt about it growing up. Both my kids don't give a damn about wrestling. Neither one of them. I mean, when Layla was growing up, she used to troll me with the John Cena song. She would just start singing it. Like, she never watched, but she just knew the Cena song. So she would just troll me because she knew I didn't like him. Hey, and he's like, you watch wrestling? Why you watch that? He's always like that. He didn't want to watch it at all. Like, if I'm watching it, he'd just walk out. Like, I ain't watching this shit. How you don't got the kids? Then you can go on social media and you can see, you know, kids with their parents or whomever it is that they're with saying, hey, I wanted to go to a WWE show, but I can't because mommy says she can't afford it. That's what we're doing to our audience. We just can't afford it. Oh, well. That's what we want our audience to feel. You price them out. They can't get the experience. They can't get the experience, then they don't have a reason to fall in love with the product. Hey, watch it on TV if you can't afford it. Why deprive these people? I'll tell you this. The first wrestling event that I've ever gone to was WrestleMania 29. The next event that I went to was an RL show, something about the worlds colliding or something like that. I remember there was a triple threat between Michael Elgin, AJ Styles, and Okada. My first time ever seeing any New Japan talent. And I was wild. I was wondering who the hell was this Nakamura guy and why is he gyrating in Kevin Owens' face? It's beyond the point. My very next one, and this is where it got super dope because I went to access to all of these shows. But SummerSlam in 2013 was CM Punk and Brock Lesnar, the whole Daniel Bryan, yes, get cashed in on. And you could see me on camera because I'm in row 13. You could see me on camera, me and Smalls, like these, super into this show. Hook, line, and sinker, they had us. They had us because we felt it. You feel something when you're watching something that you enjoy. So why deprive the people who can't afford paying $10,000 for a ticket? All right. That's way up in the front, right? That's way up in the front. Okay. How about the $2,000 tickets that's in the back? Some people can't part ways with that. So we're going to deprive them of that feeling of being around that audience. I went to Access, media credentials, got to interview wrestlers, got to interview the fans. I have video of it. Not going to show it on here. If you know, you know. It's on YouTube. It actually will be kind of hard to find because of the way that I titled it, but I know where it is. I got to interview fans. Such dope shit. Back then, Access was like $20 to get into, $20, $30, $40 to get like VIP. And if you wanted like VIP signing, like the super expensive table, you want to know how much that was? $200. And we had a problem with $200 signings. And we're talking about getting Shawn Michaels at the table back then. You want to know how much it costs to get into those things now? Look, I'm not saying it's not affordable to me. I'm talking about the people that you're shutting out, the majority that you're shutting out from being able to experience and feel this feeling that real and hardcore wrestling fans feel. You don't get that. You don't get that. You don't get it. You don't get everybody going, yes, or even yeet. You don't get that. You don't get everybody going from yes to him getting cashed in. And now you're like this 2 minutes later, booing everything. That shit was crazy. That was crazy. That was a crazy show. Crazy show. You're not going to have those moments. This isn't even what this video was supposed to be about. I actually have a list of things that I wanted to go over when I said, what is WWE? But this went in a completely different direction. And I'm not mad at the way this went. I kind of like this. I kept my voice down. I didn't crash out. But hopefully I got my point across. This list of things that I have right here, it's going to have to go in another video. I can't do it in this video. We've gone on long enough, man. WWE is trying to kill everything that we love about the sport that we love. It's not even wrestling anymore. It's a show. It's not even a wrestling show anymore. It's an act. There's no sense of danger. No sense of urgency. There's no anything can happen. You saw that on SmackDown. When a guy gets completely knocked out and the referee pulls their count instead of counting to 3, even though the team that would have won if you counted to 3 still won. Well, no, can't count to 3. Why? Because we got to get our finisher over. Tell me that you're an act without telling me that you're an act. That takes people completely away from what it is that they're watching. They can't suspend disbelief. They can't stay immersed in what it is that they're watching when you say, oh, wait, hold up, we made a mistake. Roll with it, you big dummy. Roll with it. What are we doing? What are we doing with this company, bro? I'm not. Hold on, let me back away from the camera. I'm not supposed to be that close. I'm struggling here because WWE just keeps pouring acid down our throats and we keep coming back. I feel like a hypocrite when I watch this. I feel like a hypocrite when I make content on it. I feel like a hypocrite for telling anybody that this is something I fuck with. I feel like a hypocrite coming on here trying to make sense of something or trying to defend something or trying to bury something and tell you this is why this doesn't work and here's a solution for it. No, and it will never get a solution because they don't give a shit. Why would you give a shit if we're looking to sell anyway? Let's keep raising those prices because as soon as we get to our peak where we feel as though we can't get any high, sell it. Sell it.
Fuck that! Clear, guys. Fuck that! You shut your mouth!
We're in an abusive relationship. I'm in an abusive relationship. You're in an abusive relationship with this company. And I don't know how we get out. Every time we get out, we get sucked right back in. I enjoy wrestling because I enjoy the wrestling community. That's why I enjoy wrestling. It's not even for the product anymore. It's not even for the product. It's the people. It's the people that feel a way. It's for the people that go and want to feel a way. It's for people that have fun with this. It's for that. It brings us together. Because apparently the show can't do it anymore. So therein lies the question. What do we do about this abusive relationship? Do we stay in it? Is it all us, we? Are we all in it together? Makes you think, doesn't it? It makes you think. We're in an abusive relationship. I would say go back to that John Cena promo and listen to it again. But damn, it's raining like a mug. Go listen to that John Cena promo again and listen to it from a completely different lens. Change the lens, the focal lens from John Cena and the fans to you in WWE. You'll hear that promo completely differently. That's why I keep playing like little sound clips from it, like in videos and on stream. I love playing sound clips from that promo because that promo is so layered. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous how layered that promo is. Yeah, that's all I got, man. That's it.